Hello guys, and welcome to another installment of Computers and Technology. Today we're going to be taking a look at another product from ICY's Tough Armor line of drive cages. Right in front of me I have a USB 3.0 2.5 inch SATA hard drive / solid state drive external enclosure. This is model MB991U3-1SB. This can be purchased off Amazon for $65. Now you're probably wondering why such the high price tag. That sounds absolutely crazy for a single external drive enclosure. I mean, you could go on Amazon and get like 10 Orico USB 3.0 drive enclosures for nearly the exact same price. Well, I will tell you why this thing is $65, because products from ICY's Tough Armor line of drive cages are just absolutely insane as far as quality is concerned. In my last video, I took one of their drive cages and ran it over with my Prius. It came out 100% intact. And I'm going to do the exact same thing with this drive enclosure to demonstrate how well built this thing really is. And of course, on top of that, I will run some benchmarks. I still need to unbox it. I'll tell you guys my first impressions, and then after all that is said and done, I'll take this thing and run it over with my Prius. So let's go ahead and take this drive enclosure out of the box. Let's just take a very brief look around the box. You can see a sketch of the enclosure itself right here. USB 3.0, 5 gigabits per second, hot swap capabilities, full metal construction. Yes, these things are entirely composed of steel. I'll flip it over. I'll take an HD image of the back and blow it up so you can read off all of those specifications if you really desire. There's nothing much on the sides or on the front either, just some other models from the Tough Armor line. So let's go ahead and see what $65 buys you. So I'm just pull back this tab and open that up. Whoa, it was upside down, so it looks like we have oh, you know what, that's all consolidated inside a single plastic baggie. So here is the drive enclosure right here, and this thing just feels absolutely crazy. I cannot wait to take this thing out of the box and handle it, but for now I'm just going to put it off to the side while we take everything else out of the box. We have some 2.5 inch hard drive screws right here, keys for the lock on the front of that enclosure, and at first I thought this was an Ethernet cable because it was blue, but no, that is your USB cable to connect the drive enclosure to your PC. So that's about it as far as the contents in the box are concerned. Let's go ahead and take everything out of the baggies and take a look at each individual part. And of course, I'm going to start off with the main attraction. The drive enclosure itself feels like a beast. I mean, this thing is sturdy. This is one of those products that's going to last longer than you will, and you kind of expect that for something within this price range. A $65 drive enclosure better last a long time. Now, overall, the design is very simplistic. Starting from the front, you can see that there is a single lock along with the front of the drive tray. To pull the drive tray out, all you're going to do is hit this little button. The arm's going to pop out. You're going to pull it out, and there you go. That's all there is to it. To slide back in, you just take the drive tray, align it back with the front face, and slide it back in, lock the arm down, and you're good to go. Again, I will show you guys how to install a drive into that drive tray in just a second. Using the lock is very easy as well. It's a very smooth, fluid motion from that lock. You're just going to take the key, put it in there, turn it, and you're not going to be able to remove the drive tray. That's a really handy feature if you want to make sure that drive tray does not go anywhere by accident. Ventilation wise, there's definitely adequate ventilation on this thing. Of course, I will check temperatures during the benchmark. There's ventilation on the top and ventilation on the bottom. And you know what, while I was looking at that, I thought it'd be really cool if ICY tried to make a waterproof and dustproof version of this drive enclosure. Now, I know that would be very hard, and it would probably be an insanely expensive product, but that's something that I would really love to try out. Obviously, because this does have slots for ventilation, it's not going to be waterproof or dustproof, but it's going to survive nearly any falls you throw at it and any shocks it endures. On the back, you can see our single USB 3.0 port, and really that's about it as far as the outside is concerned. Now, as you can see, the unit is encased in 2 rubber sleeves. You can remove these, but I wouldn't really see why you would want to. They do add some extra protection to the drive enclosure, and they also help with vibration dampening. Some other things to mention is that it does come with a pair of keys. Ooh, I just dropped them. But if you lose one, you're not completely out of luck. And if you want to give one to someone else, you do have that option as well. And by the way, these keys are metal. So I'll throw those off to the side and we'll focus on the USB cable. Quality-wise, the USB cable feels great. Reminds me of a high-quality Cat 5 Ethernet patch cable. And it is 5 feet in length. The Type-C side this is actually USB Type B right here. Inserts smoothly into the Enclosure's USB port on the back, like so. Now for benchmarking purposes, I will be using an ADATA SP 550 120GB solid state drive, but as I said earlier, you can also use traditional hard drives, traditional SATA hard drives with this drive enclosure as well. And by the way, this drive tray can fit thicker drives up to 15 millimeters in thickness. So I'm going to go ahead and install the solid state drive into the drive tray using the included screws. So I'm going to dump these out. And installation is going to be pretty straightforward. So we're just going to take this, line up the screw holes with the drive screw holes, and drop the screws in and secure them using a screwdriver. So really easy installation. Okay, maybe not, because my screwdriver is not cooperating with me here. But once it does, it should only take a couple seconds to get this thing secured into the drive tray. With the drive secured in the drive caddy, I'm going to go ahead and slide it back into the drive enclosure. And that's all there is to it as far as installation is concerned. So as you can see, I ran two separate benchmarks on the drive. I ran a 32GB test and a 1GB test using Crystal Disk Mark 5.0.264-bit edition on my ASUS G75VW with 16 gigs of RAM and a quad-core i7 along with USB 3.0, of course. I put this drive up against the fastest drive enclosure that I have. I threw the ADATA SP 550 solid state drive in my Orico USB-C drive enclosure as well, and ran the same benchmarks, and the speeds came up almost identical. So we're looking at read speeds around 210 megabytes per second and write speeds around 270 megabytes per second max. This isn't exactly all that this solid state drive is capable of. It can push a lot more through directly being hooked up to SATA 3. But for USB 3.0 drive enclosure, speeds are definitely decent, and you're going to be able to do quite a bit with it, such as video editing. Now, I did keep track of internal drive temperatures as well when the solid state drive was inside the IC dock enclosure, and temperatures never exceeded 50 degrees Celsius. So here's something you definitely don't see every day. We're going to take this drive enclosure and run it over with a Prius while simultaneously transferring a video file using Ubuntu Mate. So I have my IBM T60 out right here. And by the way, this drive enclosure was plug and play with both Ubuntu Mate and Windows 7. I have the video file right here. I'm going to go ahead and start transferring it, and I'm going to run it over with the Prius, and hopefully, everything goes well and the drive enclosure doesn't shut off or we don't lose any data. All right, let's do this. It's still transferring. Okay, so not only did the file transfer 100% without issue, the drive enclosure itself is still completely intact. It looks good as new. I don't notice any noticeable bending or any dents or anything like that as a result of being run over by the car. It still works, 100% functional, and structurally it's still 100% intact. If you guys didn't believe me before when I said this thing is strong, well, now you should. That took absolutely no damage from being run over by the car. And with that, that's going to be about it for this video. So a super rugged drive enclosure, speeds are good as well. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead and post a comment in the comment section. Don't forget to drop a like on this video. If you didn't like this video, please tell me why. And of course, please don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have not already. If you want to support me, you can use my Amazon or eBay affiliate links. You can also support me by checking out my Patreon. All those links will be in the description. And of course, please don't forget to drop a like on the Facebook page. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you all in the next installment of AA Computers and Technology.